watch this whole video. Just trust me, watch this whole video. There's going to be a surprise in it somewhere, and you're not going to see it coming. So don't miss that. In today's video, we are going to explore a very small desert beetle called Edrotes. They're fuzzy little guys, super cute to watch crawling around, comical little movements. You'll get to see those movements later in this video. They'll do little somersaults if they get flipped over on their backs, fun to watch. And they just scoot around the tank. They're quite active, more so at night, being nocturnal. When I'm out in the deserts, I will find them. They'll emerge from under the creosote bushes, and particularly in very sandy areas rather than rocky areas. Maybe in this video you'll be able to see how long their tarsi are. And the tarsi are those two little hooks that occur on the toes of most, if not all, beetles. And those help them in fine sand to move through it. They dig a little deeper, I suppose. They are called tenebs. You'll see the word teneb floated around in the pet beetle hobby, and particularly the pet desert beetle hobby. Maybe not a word that's really circulated very widely, but you'll probably see it become a lot more familiar and common. The family Tenebrionidae is a group that includes darkling beetles. These Edrotes are more closely related to death feigning beetles, at least they are in the same subfamily, Pameliinae. And these beetles, they go through the same life cycle that other beetles do. They'll start out as an egg, and that will hatch, and there will be a larva. And then after that goes through 3 instars, typical beetle life cycles, it will then pupate, metamorphose, go through metamorphosis, and after its body changes from that larval shape through metamorphosis, the adult beetle will then emerge. And we're only going to be taking a look at the adult beetles in this video. I was having a conversation with Invertebrate Dude recently. You'll see that he comments frequently here on YouTube, and I had invited him, and he accepted, to be a moderator once I start doing live chats. And on that point, I may start doing some of those relatively soon. I don't want to be the only person in the chat room when I do start doing them, and so I'm allowing my channel to grow just a little bit more. We did hit a very wonderful milestone lately in crossing 5,000 subscribers, and I'm very grateful to all of you for viewing the videos that I put up. I say all the time that I really enjoy making them. My days, every day of the week, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, it's all about bugs for many years now. I'm a single guy. I have a daughter who lives with me. She's 19, but she's off doing her own thing all of the time, working, going to school, social life, things like that. So it's just me and the bugs all the time. I said in a video probably back in the spring when world events started, that I had to let one of my employees go. So Jessica comes in here and works with me packing up orders, and we've been staying very busy through all of this. So one of the other things that's been keeping me particularly busy, for those of you who have been visiting the website lately, I have an announcement on there that I'm going to be putting up a new version of the website soon. And it's always a lot of work to move everything from the old site to the new site. I've actually been running the software on that website for 18 years now, which means that since 2002, my website has not changed very much. I have at times popped a different template on there so it looks a little bit different, but in terms of the structure and the basic software platform, it's pretty much the same as it ever was, since many of you will have been familiar with it. I did previously have my website set up on a different hosting program, software package. I had a webmaster back in the day. I don't know if the word webmaster is any more relevant in the modern world than the word cyberspace is, my website being called Bugs in Cyberspace. But my former webmaster, prior to having my website hosted with the current company, was a professional wrestler who was also former himself because he had retired, and those were fun times. And before that, I actually had my website hosted on another platform altogether. I used to make it with Front Page. Anyway, bit of a tangent there. One of the new features on the new website will be a waitlist feature. It's been something, I can't tell you how many minutes, hours, a day, a week I spend answering people's questions. For example, when will orchid mantises be back in stock? I've answered that question at least 10 times in the last 24 hours between email and Instagram. And I'm sure on Instagram there's a bunch of direct messages that I haven't answered yet. Before I say anything else right here, I want to say one other thing real quick, because I realize that I'm monopolizing your attention here with all of this talk, and forgive me for that, but watch this whole video. Just trust me, watch this whole video. There's going to be a surprise in it somewhere, and you're not going to see it coming, so don't miss that. So the new website, hoping it will be up and ready at some point in September, and I'm letting the inventory run a bit thin because we're already stretched pretty thin, being down that employee due to social distancing regulations. I had a whole video about that in the spring called Bugs in Cyberspace Broke, which kind of has a double meaning, but no, we're doing just fine financially. You guys are keeping us plenty busy. And even though only 2 of us are filling the orders, I'm keeping it all at a manageable level. It's something I do have the luxury of doing because I have had the website up now for 23 years. And so I'm able to list just enough as I want to ship back out. And thank you guys for allowing me to comfortably, and by comfortably I mean spend about 16 hours every single day working on the business. People have been very patient with the website being low in inventory on a lot of things, and what I'm saying here is that that's largely by design, just so that we can survive these unusual circumstances here going on in the world right now. And I hope to be back up to full staffing and being able to pump the orders out. I'm doing all of the tasks that were formerly done by another employee, as well as all of my own, and so we're just getting through it. Speaking of Edrotes and tenebs, desert beetles, one of the neatest things that I've seen happen lately, and I want to give a little shout out here to Russ from Aquarimax Pets. Check out his YouTube channel. He has, for the first time in the history of the hobby, documented in video fashion the reproduction of blue death feigning beetles, Asbolus varicosus. Be sure to jump over to his channel and watch how he took them from egg to larva growing larva, getting bigger larva, pulling them out, putting them into something called a hovabator, which is a kind of incubator, keeping them at the proper temperature so that they pupate correctly. And lo and behold, for the first time ever documented in video like this, a few other people have done it, but they've never documented it in such a clear, concise way as Russ has in his videos. So definitely pop over there and check it out and see the first ever, watch it go through the life cycle between his videos and his Blue Death Feigning Beetle playlist. an adult blue death feigning beetle. It came out black, took a long time for it to turn blue. I think it's almost there now. I gave it a name. I think he let it stick. I called it Proteus. I think it was something from, I mean, it goes through time, Proteus being like the first of something. Anyway, definitely check out Russ's video. I want to thank you guys again for the first 5,000 subscribers. That means a lot to me. You know, am I doing this for the money? A little bit, you know. I mean, business is fun to me. Business has always been fun. Since the beginning, before my business was a business, it was a hobby. And you guys chose me and said, you know, I want to buy this stuff. And I'm like, I don't sell things. I just, you know, what do you have to trade? Well, I don't have anything to trade that you don't have. So can I just give you money? And I relented and I just went with it. And, you know, I've said in videos in the past, largely the Q&A videos, I have a Q&A video playlist up here, that, you know, I didn't choose this. You guys chose me. You kept coming at me. I loved making my website. I loved typing out the emails for as many as 8 hours a day. I was typing emails about bugs for 8 hours a day before I ever even put a website up. And like I said, you guys chose me. You kept coming at me, and I kept serving you guys because that's what I loved to do. I was a kid growing up in his backyard by himself with a butterfly net sitting next to a butterfly bush waiting for something to land. There was no internet. Books weren't very informative about, you know, the things that I was necessarily seeing in my yard, and the world hadn't opened up in terms of all of these wonderful species that we can see photos of, and there was no Wikipedia where we could look up information. The times sure have changed, and it's been a fun ride to be along with you guys. And my current attention is here on the YouTube channel, and I just look forward to seeing what happens next. So thank you, all of you who have come along for the ride up to this point, and thank you to everybody else who's going to join us here in the future. Enjoy the rest of the video. The fuzzy back legs, fuzzy butts. If you look closely, there are two little spikes on either side of the head. And a golden line there, back behind the head. Funny little bumble beetles. And during the day, they tend to hide underneath of things, dig themselves down. You can see they're happy there together. Probably a few more of them under here. Another thing about these beetles is that they, like death feigning beetles, play dead really well. And that one's not doing it, but they'll tuck their legs up. Flip this one over here. Oh, you see how this one tucks its legs in? Many beetles do that. Makes predators think that they're dead. Keeps their little toesies from getting nibbled on. Just tuck them in there. And you can see it flipping itself over there. It had started to. Another thing these beetles do, they have a little squeaking noise. You hear it? I'm just very gently impeding the beetle's movement. Oh, there goes one. Just toppled right off the top of this goliathus beetle here. Gotta be careful when you're holding these guys right here. They're very powerful. Pinch your finger in between that section right there. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. But this is a video about Edrotes. Aren't they magnificent? Hey, if you like me, give me one of those thumbs up, and please subscribe and hit the little bell so you know when I post next. Please share me with your friends on social media. Thank you for watching.